Hello children of Standard 10. Today we are going to learn the Union Executive and we are focusing on the President. And about the President, you have to learn qualifications for election, composition of the Electoral College, reason for indirect election, term of office, procedure for impeachment, powers, executive, legislative, discretionary and emergency. You can see a list of presidents here and you are familiar with most of all Abdul Kalam and K.R. Narayanan and Pratibha Patil. The President of India. The President is the head of the executive and he is the head of the state and the first citizen of the country. However, please note that our government is not presidential, but it is a parliamentary form of government. The President is expected to act on the advice of the Council of Ministers, with the Prime Minister as the head. Qualification for election. No person should be eligible for election as a president unless he or she is a citizen of India. He or she has to complete an age of 35. He or she should be qualified to be a member of the Lok Sabha. He or she should not hold an office of profit under the government of India or government of any state. The presidential candidate will have to be proposed by 50 members and seconded by another 50 members of the Electoral College consisting of MPs and MLAs. Term of office. The term of office for the president is 5 years and the president is eligible for re-election. The president can resign from office by writing to the vice president who communicates it to the speaker. Dr. Rajendra Prasad had the unique distinction of being elected the president a second time. Procedure for impeachment. Now, impeachment means removal of the president. The president can be removed from office for violation of the Constitution by impeachment. Now, what are the procedures for impeachment? The resolution to remove the president can be moved in either of the house, that is Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha. It must be passed by 2/3 of the total member of the house. President has the right to appear in person and answer the charges or defended by a counsel. If the charges are sustained with a 2/3 vote in either house, well, the impeachment succeeds. The president is removed from the office from the date on which the resolution is passed. Procedure for election. Because the president exercises power over the center and the state, both MPs and MLAs have a voice in election. The election of the president is an indirect one. There is no citizens can participate in the election of the president. Now, indirect election is preferred because of the following reasons. The power really resides in the Prime Minister and the Council of Ministers. Therefore, it would be an anomaly. Anomaly means something which is out of place, out of tune, to have a direct election and not give the president real power. The framers of the Constitution wanted this election to be silent and dignified affair, with no loss of time, energy and money. It would be difficult to provide an electoral machinery for millions of people to vote. Direct election would place too much power in the hands of the people, with high percentage of illiterates among them. The president is elected by an electoral college consisting of both the houses of the parliament, that includes members of the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha, the elected members of the legislative assemblies of the state. Legislative assemblies of the state means the MLAs. Election is done by a single transferable vote. That is, election is done by a secret ballot. Under this system, all the names of the candidates are listed and the elector gives them numbers according to their preference. Oath of office. Before entering the office, the President takes an oath in the presence of the Chief Justice of India. Powers of the President. The President has executive, legislative, discretionary and emergency powers. Executive powers. The President is the head of the Union Executive and all executive orders are issued in the name of the President. Formation of the Council of Ministers. President appoints the Prime Minister and the Council of Ministers on the advice of the Prime Minister. Power to appoint and remove high dignitaries of the state. The President appoints the Attorney General, Controller and Auditor General of India, the judges of the Supreme and High Court, governors and ambassadors. Administration of Union territories. The President acts through an administrator with such designation he may specify. Control over state governments. The Union government gives necessary direction to state. During President's rule, the control of the Union government over states is complete. Emergency. You know, when the President's rule is, when the state government is dismissed, then there will be the direct rule of the President. Sometimes when no party gets a majority, again the President may intervene and become the ruler of the state. Legislative powers. Legislative powers refer to making laws. The President has the power to summon. Summon means to call, and prorogue. Prorogue means to dismiss the parliament and to dissolve the Lok Sabha. Rajya Sabha, however, is a permanent body. Nominating members to the houses. The President has the power to nominate 12 members to the Rajya Sabha from among people who have special knowledge or skill in literature, art, science and social service. The President can also nominate 2 members of the Anglo-Indian community to Lok Sabha if they are not represented. The President has the right to address or send message to either of the houses or their joint sitting any time. Assent to legislation. The President can give or refuse an assent. Assent means agree to a bill. Bill is a process before making a law. A bill, when accepted, becomes a law. Bill, or send it for reconsideration if it is not a money bill. But here again we must note, if the bill is again passed by the houses, that is the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha, the President has to give his assent or acceptance. Sanction to introduce a bill. Money bills for formation of a new state or alteration of areas of existing states cannot be introduced except on the President's recommendation. Power to promulgate. Promulgate means to bring into practice an ordinance. An ordinance is a direction or command of an authoritative nature. It has the same force and effect as an act of the Parliament. Ordinance is promulgated when both houses are not in session, and the ordinance is laid before the houses when they reassemble. If the Parliament disapproves, if they don't agree to the President's ordinance, then it lapses. Then it will have no control. If it is approved, it will automatically cease at the expiration of 6 weeks from the reassembly of the Parliament. As in to state bills. Bills passed by state legislatures should be sent for consideration to the President by the Governor. The bill affecting the powers of the High Court must also be reserved for the President's consideration. Discretionary powers. Discretionary means under the authority of someone. Here it means under the authority of the President. The President may withhold assent, assent means agreement, to a bill or send it back for reconsideration if it is not a money bill. The Constitution does not give any time limit within which the President should declare his assent or refusal to a bill. He has the liberty to decide what is right and proper. When no party enjoys a majority in the Lok Sabha, the President has the freedom to decide who should be the Prime Minister. If the Prime Minister has lost the confidence of the Lok Sabha, the President is not bound to follow the Prime Minister's advice. He can explore the possibility of forming a new government. If a Prime Minister resigns, the President has the liberty to either form an alternative government or dissolve the Lok Sabha. Emergency powers. Emergency means a sudden unforeseen situation. When India is facing trouble, there are various types of emergency. The President can issue emergency on the following grounds. 1. Emergency caused by war or external aggression or armed rebellion. Emergency on account of failure of constitutional machinery. Emergency on account of threat to financial stability. During the time of Indira Gandhi, the tenure of Indira Gandhi, emergency was imposed in India.